Hey y'all, Eli with Alchemy Custom Weaponry here. Welcome back to the channel. We're talking about holsters for your Prime or Prime Elite. Your whatever Prime, whatever non-railed gun you might have from Alchemy Custom Weaponry.
Because remember, rail equals Quantico, non-rail equals Prime.
Absolutely. And so, well, and listen, let's be honest. Even if you don't have an Alchemy, even if you're sitting there like, man, I don't have an Alchemy, but you got a 1911, this is also going to be just a great holster video for you because the modern thought process is, let's kydex everything. So let's just get that out of the way. You got a LES, was that LES concealment?
No, so if you want to carry in kydex appendix inside the waistband, which I do, this is the Tenacore Certum 3. It works for your railed guns, which would be a Quantico. It works for your railed high caps, your Quantico high cap, your 2011s, and your 1911s. It is a little bit longer normally. I just shaved it for a Commander. But yeah, there you go. Kydex inside the waistband. Moving on.
Yeah, because if you have one of these guns, you probably want a leather holster. Now,
hell yeah.
Now, I've carried a gun like this in kydex, okay? So it's not like, you know, you're going straight to hell, but you're certainly on the road. So we're going to
You'll be in purgatory.
We're going to get you back on track here, and we're going to talk about some leather options. I do want to kind of start, maybe we start on a little bit more affordable side, and then we work our way up to, you know, kind of my favorite, of course. There's one holster that the least expensive, but I don't have it with me. I have plenty of Galco products.
Yeah.
I don't have any with me because, of course, we're in Texas at Nick's house, and I just didn't even think to bring one. But Galco is a great place to start for your 1911 holster. They make good stuff. It's American-made. They usually have it in stock, which is, you're going to find, is going to become a little bit of a...
That's going to be a feature.
It's going to be a little bit of a thing. So actually, when I have people who say, I need a holster tomorrow, I usually say, hey, put in an order with Milt Sparks, immediately go get something on the Alchemy, or the
Alchemy?
the Galco website, and then you'll have it until the Milt Sparks comes in. So listen, Milt Sparks is where we're going to probably end up, but Galco is where I wanted to kind of start you off with. You actually have an early pre-Galco Jackass rig.
Yeah, so this right here, if you want to carry, shoulder carry, which I'm going to be honest, I was not a huge fan of until I tried it. And once I tried shoulder carry with a rig, with this specific rig, this Jackass rig right here, you can still order the Galco Jackass rig. This is just from pre-Miami Vice time. This is the rig that Don Johnson actually felt and used, and they switched from some other brand of shoulder holster that they were using in the first season to the Jackass rig because Don Johnson's a badass and he wanted a Jackass. So very cool rig, very comfortable for shoulder carry. And shoulder carry, when you got a jacket on, it is unbelievably comfortable and effective.
Sure.
Like the time doesn't bother me, nothing bothers me about it, and it makes you wear a jacket, which I think is kind of cool. People don't really dress up nice anymore these days, so shoulder carry's kind of gone out of favor, but I like this, and I need to get invited to some wedding soon so I can wear my Jackass rig under a jacket.
Yeah, so a few things with shoulder carry because it's a part of the leather lore of a 1911, of course. So the first thing is, I actually am a fairly big proponent of shoulder carry, but again, in specific situations. So as you mentioned, it's great for formal occasions. Now, here's a couple things you have to keep in mind. Number one, how fitted is your suit? Because if your suit is fitted and tapered to your body, especially in the lats, that's going to be pretty difficult. You're probably going to have to move to a pocket gun because anytime you have a really fitted jacket, it becomes difficult carrying a big gun on you.
Well, I mean, if you get it too fitted, then you just start looking like a metrosexual with your ankles showing and all that stuff. So don't fit your jackets too much.
But I'll be honest, like a classically and truly bespoke suit, you probably can't get away with carrying it unless you literally, and I've actually know clients like this.
They get it fitted for the holster.
They wear their gun when they go to the tailor, which is gangster. God,
yes,
that's
if
so
you
gangster.
do that, send us a message. Send us some photos because
so
that's
cool.
that's super cool.
Anyways,
or you could wear it without the jacket and just unbutton some of the top buttons on your shirt and mess up your hair, and then you look like a bedraggled cop from the San Francisco of the 1970s dealing with the drug epidemic out there, and you just feel like you're on your third marriage and you're all tussled. That's kind of a badass look too, but it should be a revolver. Anyways,
so yeah, the leather holster is, the shoulder holster is a great option for that. There are a couple of different styles of shoulder holster, and I'm going to get on a little bit of a soapbox. I actually don't even consider anything other than a Galco product. I've tried so many different other shoulder holsters. They are all way too bulky. They're all way too hot, honestly, and they all have the gun at weird angles. So what Galco has been purpose-driven to be worn underneath a suit. Most of the time, I've got guys who are like, well, this holster is really comfortable because it usually has pretty big straps. Well, when they put their jacket on, even if it's not printing underneath the armpit,
their straps are going to print.
Their straps begin to print. So it's really something, it's a purpose-driven thing. I think Galco is still the king of the shoulder holster. I have several, and I love them. So, and the other thing, last thing, I'm sorry, shoulder holster is going to get its own dedicated video, so don't worry about that. But when you do go and you're wearing something, the Jackass, you can get away with it because, of course, the Jackass is tilted.
The gun
so
down.
The barrel is kind of going up like this. With the Miami Classic, the new Miami Classic, it's more of a kind of
straight,
horizontal motion. Right, and so when you carry a 5-inch gun, you have the ability where the gun will print
sticking
out the back.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. Moving on, we are going to talk about the next kind of holster, which is going to be your Bianchi.
Yeah, your Bianchi style holster, which is going to have 2 belt loops, so one in the back and then one in the front, so that you can carry it truly at 3 o'clock, because a lot of jeans do have that belt loop that sits right there at 3 o'clock. And if you only have one large belt loop, you either have to go in front or behind, which is fine if you want to do that. But if you want to perfectly carry it at 3 o'clock, this is a good option. It's also an affordable option. We sell these on the Cabot Guns website, in fact. And this is a nice, simple holster that's readily available.
So the viewers, and you probably don't even know this, but this holster is actually a variation of the Bruce Nelson holster, which is known on the Milt Sparks catalog as the BN59. So this is Bruce Nelson originally gave Milt Sparks obviously the rights. I don't rights, but he gave him permission to produce it. Yeah. This holster is one of the more reproduced holster designs. Obviously, Bianchi makes one. Galco makes one. Now, I love Galco, but this name for theirs is it's fun. The Thunderclap.
As much as I would like you to buy it from the Cabot website, you can go buy it from the Galco website, their version of it, just so that you have a holster called the Thunderclap.
I'm almost certain that's what it's called, but there it is.
Some considerations for this: the guard is up so high, you are not going to be able to get a pistol with a red dot in here. So this is classic carry, classic pistols, no rail and no red dot, which totally fine. I've been doing more and more of that as time goes on. Next up is...
Oh, well, look at there.
Well, look at here. So this was a gift given to me by a very, very kind, gracious, and Eli Duckworth gave me this specific holster. This is the Sam Andrews Speed Scabbard, which I like for a number of reasons. Number one about it is a low riding holster, meaning the actual guard, it's not a sweat guard, it's a sweat guard on the back, but the actual guard of the holster comes up to a point where if I want to carry a pistol with a red dot, I actually can use this leather holster and carry a pistol with a red dot. I'm going to show you that real quick. My Prime Elite Compact, and the fact that our red dot mount sits so far back that you can get...
Oh, I didn't know that,
yeah,
actually.
Yeah, so you can carry an RMR. You can carry an SRO. I forgot I had a gun here at one point that I tried it on. You can carry an SRO. It's not going to get like a full seating in there, but you can...
Well, with the RMR, it's in there.
But the RMR, it's in there. So if you're going to carry the red dot, carry with the RMR, and you are good to go. And it also has full trigger guard coverage, but what I like is I can still get my finger up under here, hence the name Speed Scabbard. I can get my hand up under here and get a full purchase on the grip as I'm drawing the gun, and I don't have to adjust my hand when I'm building my grip from there. So this holster is actually very, very cool, and this is the one that I wear most often. So if I'm carrying 3 o'clock with my decorative stitch belt to go with it, this is what I'm going to have on me most of the time.
Yeah, and so a little backstory, just because I know y'all like this sometimes, maybe you don't. So we were going to NRA show last year, and I like to carry a gun open when I can. Now I don't mean that like I'm walking around downtown going to the to the Walmart open carry, and I'm not big on that, although I'm starting to be.
I've been doing that more and more regularly.
When we go to demos, when we go to range events, I just think it looks good when the person who is representing a certain gun company is wearing their gun.
Is armed with that gun.
And specifically with a nice holster. Now, poor Nick. Poor millennials. They sometimes have he's a little too tactical. And I remember he was walking around. You had that like kydex holster. No, you didn't have that one.
No, I did. This was NRA last year here in Dallas. You got the story wrong, brother. So last year at NRA, I had this holster and I had another belt paired with it to look at. But he busts this out and he goes, "Hey, here you go.
Yeah.
Take the speed scabbard." Because this is a nice holster, but this is a nicer holster with the decorative stitch, and I bought my decorative stitch belt to match it there.
Because I feel like when you work for a company like Cabot or Alchemy, you really need to have everything be cohesive. You want the leather to be nice. You want the gun to be nice. Because it's kind of like going to, I use this pretty often. For us, it's almost like being in a job interview, like even if we can build you the best gun, sometimes we still need to dress the part to be able to get your business. And so when I wear a nice gun and a nice holster, it's all to portray like, hey, this is the stuff that we are able to do, and all of it kind of becomes cohesive.
Well,
and so we're going to kind of pivot quickly away from open carry. We're going to talk about some concealed carry stuff, and this is my go-to concealed carry holster. This is the Milt Sparks Summer Special 2. Now, this particular Summer Special is, as you will notice here, a straight drop. I still listen. Okay, guys, listen. Everybody thinks I'm a FUD. I'm still a big appendix guy. I still carry in the appendix pretty dominantly, actually. And in fact, you'll know, you can vouch, most of my outside the waistband holsters when I'm on the range are brought into about the 2 o'clock, kind of between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock, and canted back. I am a big fan of appendix carry and drawing. And part of that is because I'm a little short, so I'm 5'8", so I'm not the tallest guy. And if I have a holster at my 3 o'clock, I mean, especially because I carry 5-inch guns, that thing's damn near in my armpit before it's clear. Before it's clear leather. So I'm a big fan of this. Now, if you want the regular Summer Special 2, it is what they call an FBI cant, which kind of cants the gun back like this. And those actually you can get for 1911s with usually no weight. They usually have a few of those laying around. If you want a straight drop, that's going to be something they have to make. So,
and I carry straight drop too. So this kydex holster, I know I joked about it. I do carry with this when I carry appendix, no matter what gun it is. If it's my MuSoc, my ACW MuSoc Resto Mod, it's in here. I've got a Cabot that I carry like this in here. I carry this gun in here, my Prime Elite Compact. So appendix is really my preferred method.
Yeah, and so
with a straight drop.
Yeah, and so this one's for a square guard 5-inch gun. I've also got one for a round guard 5-inch gun. Really great. They also make the Summer Special 1. They don't necessarily make those with a straight drop. It's they can do a single loop, and you can kind of make it into an appendix carry, which actually was the original intent around that holster, funny enough. But of course, you can also get that in the 3 o'clock. And then the other big inside the waistband holster from Milt Sparks I want to give light to is the VM2. Which is an incredibly comfortable holster, but again, it's a 3 o'clock holster with an FBI rake.
Yeah.
So if you like that, that's definitely 3 holsters right there. The Summer Special 2, and then the VM2 Versamax that Milt Sparks has. Also keep in mind that just the name of the game, a lot of people have copied these holster designs. So if you don't like the fact that Milt Sparks makes everything to order and it's all hand built and you got to wait a little bit for it, there are people, the Galco, there's some other places here and there that make holsters you can get, normally. Now, what I normally tell people if they want a Milt Sparks holster, and they're ordering a gun from us, when I call them to say, hey, thank you for your order, and they go, oh, you know, I'm thinking about getting a holster. What should I get? I go, you go get a Milt Sparks.
Order at the same time.
Get you off the phone with me and order your Milt Sparks as soon as you get off the phone with me. So I'm a big fan of this.
One other thing, I know I threw this to the side like facetiously at the beginning, but I forgot some stuff on this Tenacor Certum 3. It does have this little standoff wing here, which helps press the gun nice and flat against your body, so the butt of the gun is not protruding out, which sometimes when you're carrying at appendix, that can happen. You can add a cant. To it by changing the locations of the screws on these clips. And the last thing, these clips are nice because the one thing that I don't believe you can do with the Summer Special 2 is tuck your shirt in behind the clips, where you can clip out over your belt and then tuck your shirt in and carry appendix with your shirt tucked in. The gun does not print. You do see the clips on the outside of your belt buckle, but no one's really looking at your crotch that closely anyway. So there are a lot of benefits to this.
Yeah, and so that is inside the waistband stuff. Like I said, there's so many options. I mean, the 1911's been around for a freaking century, dude. Like, we should have cavalry swivel 1912 cavalry swivel holsters out here with flat, with the flap. But there's so many options. So if you see something you didn't there that you like that we don't show, we're not
saying it's not good. It's just that we don't know, man. There's a lot.
We have stuff we like, and most of it's Milt Sparks.
All right, so, getting to the official sponsor of Eli's Holster Life,
which is funny because I pay for my Milt Sparks, and I will tell you, I pay a lot of money for my Milt Sparks.
Yep.
So, anyways, it's not like I get anything special.
Ditto.
My buddy Nick. Actually, he should probably be Nick the Dick, to be honest with you. He charges me. So, anyways, we're talking about this is going to be my favorite holster of all time. So just if you're not interested in the outside the waistband holster, the video's done for you.
Yep.
If you're interested in probably the sexiest freaking holster of all time, prepare to learn about the Milt Sparks 1AT. Oh my gosh.
We're about to piss Nick and Milt Sparks off too.
Yeah. Well, and here's the deal. So it's funny. You know why Nick doesn't give me a deal is because I make his life hard. So this is a difficult holster to make.
Yes.
In fact, as far as the holster catalog goes for Milt Sparks, this is probably the most difficult holster they have. So that's yours, which
this is mine.
Brings me so much joy that you actually got a full 180. Did you get the belt too?
Yeah. Oh no, I got the belt. I got two mag carriers, and the reason is I've got some black ostrich boots.
Yeah.
And so I want to get a black holster, and when I get a black decorative stitch holster, I had to go to Nick at Milt Sparks and get this done. So come see me at NRA. I'm going to be wearing this the entire time.
Yeah, and that makes me so happy. And I jokingly call. We've now crossed out of the discussion of things you need to know. This is now story time. I jokingly call Milt Sparks my MILF Sparks holster. I have never been hit on more in my entire life than when I've open carried with this holster out in public.
Interesting.
You were.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was...
Nick pays the bill, but we get 2 receipts. And one of them is handed to me, and I thought, well, honey, I didn't pay for nothing. Open it up. There's her phone number. Listen, I'm not trying to tell you that if you're some single, lonely guy who likes 1911s, that this is going to be the thing that gets you laid, but I kind of am. I kind of am saying that because... it works.
This is legit.
So this one is my newest one. I actually have 3 full 1AT rigs. Okay, I have the traditional, old school brown with decorative stitch, white decorative stitch. I have a full crocodile rig.
Yep.
Mag carrier, belt and holster, 1AT, and then this, which is easily the sexiest holster that's ever been made. Besides maybe the Milt Sparks 120, which they won't make, unless we bully them into making them.
Bullying works.
Bullying works. So this is a Milt Sparks, actually, one of one. They will not make. And Nick, I'm read what's about to come out of my mouth. They will not make this holster again. In the fact that it is a cross draw holster. Okay, cross draw is pretty cool. I also, because we talked earlier, I like wearing
a forward rake.
So,
well, I guess it'd be a rearward.
It's not
Right.
the opposite of FBI carry.
Yes, yeah. The opposite
so,
of FBI carry is not Waco carry.
Even though this is meant to be carried to the cross draw, you can actually move it over to your strong side, and then you have a really nice holster that's more my speed. They made this for me. They will not make it for anyone else. I apologize. Now, what they will do is the hand tooling. So Milt Sparks, dude, you'll find this interesting. So Milt Sparks has a guy who's like 85, who is like a legitimate saddle maker. Like back when Idaho was like, you kind of needed a saddle to do a thing.
Before all the Californians moved there.
Right, which they did bring their hot rods. That's pretty cool. But anyways, so this guy, really, really good saddle maker, and he hand tools the entire rig. So I have, the belt, the mag carrier, and the holster.
Yep.
And he'll even do like little special things in there.
Like words and...
Yeah, like symbols. Like I think the next one I do, I'm going to put the Alchemy logo on.
That'd be pretty sweet.
So anyways, this is a really cool, very old school gunfighter thing. The reason that tooling was kind of hand tooling was kind of a thing was actually it makes the leather tougher. So while it does look good, this is actually a really durable holster. And this will be the holster I'm carrying at NRA show. And there's going to be a special gun that it's in. But
you have to wait and see for that. Okay, so I'm sitting here and I'm looking at all this and going, so far we've made Milt Sparks unhappy because the 1AT is made very, very rarely. This is something that you got to wait for. The Speed Scabbard by Sam Andrews is not produced very regularly too, so you do have to special order the Speed Scabbard.
I think you can catch him.
You can catch him. You can catch him at times. So out of everything, we got a shoulder holster, we got an appendix holster, and we got this Bianchi. What'd you call it? The BN.
Well, it's modeled after the BN55.
Okay, so what Milt Sparks holster can people expect to order outside the waistband 3 o'clock?
The BN55.
The BN55.
Yeah, so the BN55, and I have one. Again, it's just not here because we're at Nick's place. So I have a large box of holster that's only getting bigger. I'm not as bad as Jason Burton though. That dude's got totes of leather, and he's got two 120s, which make me really sad. Anyways, so Milt Sparks makes plenty of outside the waistband holsters, just very similar like that.
Yep.
So like I said, there are plenty of holsters for your Prime Elite, your Prime, all that good stuff. You just got to look for what makes you happy. I know a lot of people like the crazy, who's that company? Southern Trapper?
The Southern Trapper. They make fine stuff, and those
isn't that like more wild?
Yeah, I mean you can get anything you want. Stingray. No, they'll do some simple stuff too, and their lead times are very, very short. Their lead times are pretty good, and they're very responsive. So if there's something here you go, I can't wait 6 months for a holster, or these are rarely available, then go ahead and go to the Southern Trapper, and they'll get you like something specific. You want a little Stingray spine on there, they'll do it for you.
Yeah, so there's a ton of different options. Like I said, I'm just partial to Milt Sparks because
this is what we use
because of the history, and also because my buddy Ken Hackthorne yelled at me when I told him I didn't have any Milt Sparks, and I didn't get it right. Like I was kind of like most people my age. I was like, there's no reason to have a leather holster, blah blah blah. And then I got a leather holster, and I continued to complain because Milt Sparks leather holsters are. Let's just say you're not going to take that out to the range the first day you get it.
No, you do have to break it in.
You do have to break it in. It's something that does take a process. I'll give you a quick tip. This is not supposed to be a Milt Sparks video. I guess it is now. It's going to come in a thicker plastic bag. Okay, you take the holster out of the plastic bag. You put your gun in the bag, and then stick it in the holster. Now Nick likes to tell you, not this Nick, Milt Sparks Nick. He likes to tell you, you can keep it in there for a couple hours and it's good. I usually do about 3 days. So, and I do that with my mag carriers too. So the mag carriers come in plastic.
Yep.
Leave it for about 3 days.
Yeah, and I would recommend putting a little silicone deal. If you have a blued gun, put a little silica packet in there too.
Right.
Because if you live in a humid climate, you put it in your safe.
Yeah, I usually use a hard chrome gun.
Don't use a blued gun for that because 3 days with moisture from plastic right around it. If you buy an Alchemy, it does come shipped in thick plastic that is actually hydrophobic, that will pull the moisture out of the air. So if you have an Alchemy that's blued, you could use that bag for said purpose.
Yeah, cool. So anyways, with that, we're going to leave you alone. We've rambled about holsters long enough, so thank you for putting up with us.
And being undercover.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was undercover, but I didn't do no drinks.
Yep.
But anyways, thank you so much. Remember, carry cocked and locked. We'll see you next time.